Welcome to day one of the Melanie Top and Dress Sew Along, sponsored by the wonderful Olga's Closet. Today we are going to be assembling our paper pattern pieces, cutting it out, making adjustments that we need to make, and cutting out our fabric. So I'm rolling up my sleeves. I'm getting ready to get started. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to do the first row for you, or the first several pages, in case you're new to PDF patterns, so that you can see how it's done. Here we go. If you're new, one of the things you'll notice about 5 out of 4 is we have some guidelines. We have a guideline on the right side of the page and a guideline across the bottom, and those are connected at the corners with diamonds. Okay, so you're just lining up all those things. You are going to line up the edge of this page up to, but not covering, the gray line on the previous page. So you're lining up the bottom line, the side line, and the diamond. It's really that simple. Now you can see that I have, no, I'm gonna stop there. I do need to check one thing here. One of the cool things about PDF patterns, or at least I know about 5 out of 4 patterns, is that all of our pattern tutorials come with a print guide. So you can print exactly the pages that you need. So if you just want to make a top, then you will just print out the pages for a top. If you want to print out or want to make the dress, then you can print out whatever. If you want no sleeves, you don't have to print out the sleeves. So check out the tutorial so that you can save a little bit of paper and a little bit of time and a little bit of money to get exactly what you need. All right, so here I finished up. This is my first row. I just printed out what I needed, and to be real honest, I printed this out like 2 weeks ago, so I can't even remember if I printed this out for the top length or the knee length. Either way, it doesn't matter. So here we are, we're moving on to the next. Now there's really not much more I need to say. You can ask questions in the group. If you have any other questions, I'm just gonna get this put together. Okay, so here we are. I've gotten all of my pieces put together. I'm just doing the short-sleeved version of the top length. Now, I'm going to be doing short sleeves, so I don't need the sleeveless armband, and I'm just going to be doing the crew neck because I don't like things to be too low cut. But you can do the scoop neck if you want to scoop, so you would cut the scoop neckband for that. I'm cutting the crew neckband. If you want sleeveless, then you'll cut the sleeveless armband. But first, I'm going to cut the short sleeve out of this. Let's look at this pattern piece real quick, okay? Up here at the top center, there's a mark on all of the sizes. I actually cut a notch out there. That's just the center point of your sleeve, and that will match up with your shoulder seam. So I like to have a little notch there. You don't have to do it that way, but that's what I like to do. All right, let's move that to the side, and let's move on with cutting out. This is our back bodice down here. Now, there are a couple different things. There are lengthen and shorten lines if you need to lengthen or shorten. But the big thing right now is deciding your sleeves or sleeveless. And it says here, use the inside cut line for sleeveless. So if I'm going to do a size large, and I want to do sleeveless, I'm going to cut this inside line. But I'm putting sleeves in mine, so I'm going to cut the outside line. our back bodice is cut out, our top, and I'm gonna set this to the side. I'll need to make some grading adjustments to this here in a little bit. So I'm just gonna put this to the side and get to it. All right, let's move up here to, this is the crew neckband. Now let's cut out our front bodice. Again, at the top level, the same rule applies to your sleeveless or sleeved version. If you're doing the sleeveless, you're gonna cut on the inside cutting line. If you're doing sleeved, you're gonna cut on the outside. Okay, now that we're at the neckline here, we have to decide. You have the crew neck, which is the higher neckline, and you have the scoop neck, neither of which are terribly revealing. I just like the crew neck, it's just me. So I'm gonna cut the higher of the two. Okay, so now that I've done that, it's time for me to make adjustments. So you might need to make length adjustments or bicep adjustments or whatever adjustments. So I've made the only adjustments that I personally need to make. Now I'm getting my tutorial out and I'm going to find out have ready the measurements that I need for the drawstring. All right, so let me get my tutorial, let me flip through. Now they're not pattern pieces for the drawstrings, but there are measurements inside of the tutorial, the tutorial. So if I skip all the way down, there we go, to page 18 of the tutorial, it gives us the measurements for the crew neckband, the scoop neckband, and the sleeveless armband, okay? So if you didn't want to cut out those pattern pieces, you like to use measurements, those are there for you as well. But also you have the top side ties, the knee length side ties, and the T-length side ties. So we have those as well. So I'm actually going to do that first before I cut anything else out. I want to go ahead and get those ties cut. So let's grab this and see if I can find. Okay. So here we are. All right, so I'm going to grab my fabric and I'm going to fold the selvages together. So you've got this edge that's kind of rolled, right? And you've got another edge on the other side of that, which is also kind of rolled. All right, those are your selvages. This is this edge. Hold on, let me get this. There we go. So we've got a selvage on that side. We have a selvage on this side, and we have the raw edge, the cut edge here. So I'm taking my two selvages, which look like they're rolling in on each other. This one looks wrong side, so I'm going to put them. I'm going to put them wrong sides together. So I'm going to fold the selvages together, and so the raw cut edge is right here, okay? So now that I've got this, I'm matching up the cut edge. I want it just perfect here, okay? Oh, this fabric is beautiful. I just can't get over how pretty it is. Okay, so let's look at our tutorial. Find your size on the chart and whatever length you're using. Okay, so here's how it works. If you just want to side ruche it on one side, just one side ruched, you need 2 of these. If you want to ruche both of the sides, you're going to do 4 of them. Now I think I have 2 of these tops that are ruched on both sides. I think I'm going to go different this time, and I'm only going to ruche one side. That'll be kind of fun. So they need to be 1 inch long this way, so 1 inch this way, by whatever your size is. So mine is 21.5. Okay, so I'm going to turn this way. So we've got those. I'm going to set those to the side. These are our drawstrings. All right, here's our fabric. Now, what I want to do is I want to take my fabric and I'm going to fold each selvage to the center. Now I'm going to grab my front bodice and my back bodice. Now we have sleeves and neckband to go. So there's not a lot of pattern pieces here, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut out the front and the back first. All right, so our back bodice is cut. Let's get our sleeves and our neckband cut. Oh, it's so beautiful. Now you can decide based on if you have extra fabric, what colors you want showing. If you don't want the yellow showing, I kind of want more of the purple. So I'm gonna fold this to where I get a little more of what I want. So I'm gonna actually do selvage to selvage because the yellow seems to be all at the selvage. And I'd like to get more of the purple on the sleeves. So pay attention to your fabric and what your needs are. All right, and if there's a particular pattern you need shown or want shown, you'll want to do that. All right, so here's what we have. We have our sleeves, which I need 2 of them, mirror images, and I need 1 crew neckband. All right, so this is just 1. So I'm folded in half. So if I just do this, I'm going to cut 2 of them. I don't need 2 of them. So I'm actually going to fold this in half, and then I'm going to cut it on the fold. So I've got my neckband. I can clean up anything that's, I got a little jagged right there. All right, so there's my neckband. All right, let's talk about our back bodice here. So when I cut this out, I cut it out on the fold. Now, it is not supposed to be cut on the fold. I totally forgot about that. You're wanting to cut 2 of them in mirror images because there's a seam up the back. I get so used to cutting things on the fold that I totally forgot. So this gives you can either sew it up this back, up the 2 pieces, or you can do the opening, which of course I'm gonna do the opening. So I'm gonna grab my scissors and I'm gonna make this 2 pieces. All right, we've cut out all of our pattern pieces and now we are ready for day 2.